Please welcome Frank Appel, CEO of the Deutsche Post DHL Group, who will now share with us his reflections on inclusive growth.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here. It's an honor as well, so many very smart people thinking far beyond the current stage. What I would like to do is not to talk too much about the challenges the world is facing, because you know that better than I anyway, but maybe what the business sector can do to really address some of these challenges. But nevertheless, I want to start, if we talk about inclusive growth, a little bit in strange situation the world is facing. I believe we never had more inclusive growth than currently. If you go to the Millennium Goals, many of them has been achieved. The SDGs, I think, are giving us the right track as well. On the other side, the world has never seen so much distrust or declining trust to politicians, business, the journalists, the press, and even to NGOs once in a while. And you know, I always ask myself how that can be. You know, if you measure the success of politicians, and you measure that on a very high level, you know, we have not seen a big war. And being here in Germany, I think that's an important statement to make. We have not seen that for almost 75 years. So if you measure success of politicians, you know, you should measure what the politicians have achieved for almost, 75 years. I think that's a great achievement, but nevertheless, our population doesn't trust politicians. The same business, we never had more jobs around the world, and many of them are well-paid jobs than currently. Nevertheless, managers are not perceived as creating value. And press has never created more transparency than now, but people don't believe any longer what the press writes. You know, they say this is all fake anyway. So that's a very strange situation, and of course we can talk about a lot, you know, what the reasons for that are. You know, maybe, you know, I give a couple of examples what we have tried to do in the last 10 years, and I'm in the office for now almost 10 years. We are one of the most global companies with operations in every country of the world, as with our DHL operations. So what we have tried to do is, and I think that's hopefully is possible for others as well. First of all, we asked ourselves what is important for human beings? What is our nature somehow? And that should be the base. And we think there are only 3 basic needs. Of course, you need food and water and electricity whatsoever, but there are more. What makes the human so special? And we believe there are 3 things you have to address. And we call that love, purpose, and hope. So everybody is looking, and you know, that's not different from my grandparents or my children. You know, they are looking in different ways for love, but they are all looking for a partner. So companies can't do too much about that, societies can't do too much about that, except that as a company you can of course help that people are not overworked all the time and have time for their relatives. But that's an important part of any person. The second is people are looking for a purpose in life. Beyond they need food, water, and whatsoever, they are looking for making a difference. And I think that's very important and is a base for doing something. And the third is humans are looking for hope that tomorrow is better than today. You know, and some of the second and third, and that's a challenge we face, some of that is broken in parts of society at least. People don't see what their purpose is, what their contribution is, and some of them have lost hope that tomorrow will be better. You can read that in statistics. That's the reason why we have raising populism, because populism is addressing that point and say, I give you hope back. So that is what is happening. But nevertheless, it's also important to reflect on that and do something as a company about that. So what we actually did is, therefore, we said, what the first thing we have to do as a company, we have to give our people a clear purpose what the company is all about. So that's in our case, connecting people, improving lives. So we are connecting for our logistics services people. We are delivering products to the people. And I always say a good drug, a pharmaceutical drug, is only helpful if it reaches a patient. And I think that's important. And that is what I tell, what my board colleagues, our senior executives are telling our people constantly. I think that's important. The second is that we have to serve all stakeholders. Our strategy always says we have to improve customer satisfaction on highly engaged employees. That delivers financial services, but we also have a responsibility for societies. We are acting in 220 countries and territories, so we have to make a difference. The third is you need clear values, and in our case, because we are a company, we have to balance respect and results. We want to demonstrate results, of course, because it's important, otherwise we can't invest, but we also want to have respect for our customers, employees, shareholders, and society. To do that, we invest heavily in the education, and the education is a key driver for creating inclusive growth. We have a global program which we call Certified, where we train our people from the top to the bottom through similar programs to understand better what the purpose of the company is all about. So this is, you might say this is all business talk somehow. The truth is that if you look into indicators, we have improved along all these dimensions. We have improved our customer satisfaction on a global scale. We have improved the morale of our organization significantly. We have not made slight progress. We have made significant progress to have our people more on board. We have improved our financial results significantly as well at the same time. And also, we have done a lot for the social responsibility, we believe. We have 3 themes, and I think that's important as well. We are addressing the carbon problem. We have a clear mission until 2050. We don't want to have any carbon emission from our company any longer. We are leveraging with the UN our logistics services, which we call Go Help, when natural disasters are happening. And on the third, we want to do something on education, but we do that on the bottom of the pyramid and not the top. We are not sponsoring the high-profile universities. We are working with Teach for All, for instance, or SOS Villages together to help the people. This is all based on to give really people a perspective and response to their needs, love, purpose, and hope. And I think if you translate that, other companies, I think, can do the same. Other companies can work for stakeholders as well. It actually makes your company more successful, not less successful. And it doesn't divert money to different places. And I think the same is true for the political arena. One of the reasons why we are challenged at the moment, as at least Western societies, is because there is no clear vision. We are living in a situation where the threat from a potential war is gone, and we are sitting here next to the Berlin Wall, very close to that. The Cold War is gone, the World War is gone, fortunately, and now we have to convince people that we still can create a better world through, the right measures. And therefore, we need a clear formula, a positive picture, how globalization makes the world a better place, that digitalization will not kill all jobs. The opposite is true. And why? Because we need more productivity, and productivity will come from digitalization, particularly in service industries. And this is what I think is the message that what we as a business sector should do. We really should try to meet the expectation of the stakeholders based on the basic needs of the humans, as I said. And politicians should look the same. We need a global agenda 2030, I believe, where we address all the issues which the world is facing, but we also have to base that on the needs that people have. We need a clear, yardstick we can measure against, because people accept hardship if they understand why that helps to make a difference. And I know that from our own company, we had challenges ourselves. We had financial challenges in 2008 and 2009 on a big scale, and we are now much more healthier, and we have improved since then on both sides. So I think that's what I wanted to share with you. I think in conclusion, the situation is much better than people might think. Nevertheless, there's an opportunity to grow. I'm very optimistic that we can achieve significantly more for more people, as we have already done in the past. So I hope that this conference will contribute as well, and you will give us, with all these, your think power, give us good advice what we can do in addition. Thank you very much.